fucking scoot back a little so I don't punch the microphone. Hey, come listen to our podcast, yeah. Please listen, it's a hitch. If you don't listen to our podcast, yeah, then you are a bitch. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Filmoscopy Podcast, the show where...
Slow it down a little bit.
We're three goons.
We can't understand you.
Discuss movies.
Three friendly neighbors.
Three neighbors. Three fuckers. Discuss a movie. And today's movie is Blue Velvet, neo-noir mystery thriller. That's taken from Wikipedia. That's not my words.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you really call it a mystery when you know who the bad guy is in the first, 15 minutes of the film?
Yeah, I guess. It's really the journey. I don't know. You're trying to see how everything's connected. It's the journey along the way, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure it's a journey.
We don't know why.
I mean, this is like a journey going to Kentucky.
We don't know why
where
this
the
guy
roads are all fucked up.
We don't know why this guy says baby wants to fuck.
I was going to say, I don't know. After finishing the movie, I still don't know why he was doing what he was doing.
This movie's epitomized by she goes, I can't tell if you're I can't remember what she said. I can't tell if you're just really she said something that or a pervert. He goes, I guess this is for you to find out.
Yeah, he's a
That's
dick.
movie sums up.
Yeah,
that line.
she says, I can't tell if you're a good detective or a pervert.
Yeah, that's our first inkling that we know that the protagonist is kind of like a dick, which is kind of like the genre staple for a noir film is that the protagonist has questionable morality
and a big dick.
Yeah, he really just goes in there. He probably does have a big dick. Did you see her pretending to suck on his wiener? She was pretty far out.
Oh, she did look like she was far away. She couldn't get too close. This is the podcast. This is unedited.
What if she just in that scene that was supposed to be real sensual? She just started going.
Ugh, man.
That would add to it. David Lynch should put that in fucking whatever movie he makes next. But anyways, let's jump into that. So I'm assuming you guys haven't seen anything David Lynch related. You guys might have watched maybe Twin Peaks or something like that.
I watched an episode or two of Twin Peaks, but I never finished it.
Yeah, and the early episodes of Twin Peaks are pretty much played pretty straight. They're not too crazy. They don't get very Lynchian. I've watched both Twin Peaks, the original series, the first 2 seasons. I've watched Fire Walk with Me, the movie, and I've watched The Return, and I've enjoyed all of it. Varyingly degrees. The second season of the first series isn't very good though, but that's just because David Lynch left, and it kind of got kind of shitty. But so I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while. Because I've always been interested in David Lynch's films, but I've never really gotten around to watching them. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank now.
No, I don't think I've ever purposely watched a David Lynch.
Lynch.
I don't know why I said Finch. Because I was thinking about the fucking bird in the movie. I know
the
Robin.
shit. Yeah, the Robin does look kind of shit at the end.
And the fucking fake ear looks fucking terrible. He found that.
Yeah, the fake
why does
ear
the ear got fucking
good.
mold on it? It should be decaying.
Moldy ear.
It looks like fucking something you'd have on fucking bread or something. Yeah, this is the
tasty,
first time
though.
I probably ever watched a David Lynch movie. I've looked up his other stuff, and I'm like, it doesn't ring a bell. I have seen. It used to be on Shudder, the TV show that used to play Twin Peaks, and I probably watched an episode or two and just thought it was really fucking weird.
Yeah.
It just seems like everybody, especially in this movie, other than Dennis Hopper and the blonde chick, everybody in here seems like they were the creepy kid in high school that you didn't talk to, that just looked really fucking weird.
Well, all the characters are creepy except for, what's her name, Laura Dern?
Yeah, Laura Dern. The character's Sandy.
Her character's the only one that seems normal.
Yeah, everybody else seems like it's paper white. The main dude, and he has an incredible head of hair. So I'm not criticizing him.
He's pretty much just our protagonist to guide us through the story. Like I said, the only thing we're really supposed to get from him is that he has a kind of twisted morality.
So he's Cole Young, in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, no.
Cole Young was the
Cole Young doesn't have any kind of twisted morality or anything.
Within the first few minutes of the film, I started getting a very strong, because the way he talks and like just his actions are so bizarre. Like
he does do some pretty goofy shit.
Yeah, it's like he finds an ear in a field and he puts it in a paper bag and then carries it to the police station, and then it's like the way they're talking about it. I don't know. It's just something about him. I was like, oh, I really don't like this Jeffrey character at all, just right from the get go. And even like the cop, he's also so nonchalant. But I was like, oh, well, let me take a look. Yep, that's a human ear.
Yeah, that's pretty common, like in Lynch films, where they'll see kind of like sometimes they'll see really fantastical shit like that, like stuff that's out of the ordinary, and they'll play it kind of straight. That happens like in Twin Peaks with things like the Log Lady and stuff, and a lot of the dark room or shit, I forget. The Lodge is what it's called, like the Lodge sequences and stuff. I like Kyle MacLachlan. To be fair, I might be biased because I love him as Agent Cooper in Twin Peaks. So I might be carrying that with me, but I really didn't mind the protagonist.
I don't think that's bias. You like him, you like him.
Yeah, I
don't have a reverence for Twin Peaks, so it doesn't bother me.
I like Kyle MacLachlan as an actor. I've seen him do really good work.
Yeah, I mean, it may just be the character of this.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I could see if you don't like this character, that would probably be like, because I mean, he is kind of a dopey kind of weirdo, but
the only two characters in this movie
that was kind of the point of him was he was like this dopey, like innocent weirdo who's supposed to be like, he's like this dumb kid who like stumbles into this like dark, seedy underbelly of his white picket fence town,
Yeah. And he also likes to like date underage women.
Yeah. Well, she is a senior in high school. So.
Which, I mean, 17. He's in college.
Well, she might be 18.
She might be. I doubt it.
Maybe she might be 14 though. Maybe she graduates.
Yeah, it's just like I'm Mensa.
She does drink a Heineken, so maybe she got held back.
I think that like drinking age back then was like 16 or 18.
Hell yeah, dude! Let's travel back to the past.
That was great.
So I know this is kind of jumping toward the end, but do you think that this movie kind of like portrays her being mistreated, not necessarily the same way that Frank mistreats, I can't remember what her name is.
It's God damn it. Hold on, let me look, because I have Wikipedia right here.
You have a phone right.
I know.
You see a computer right here, like we're recording on the computer.
I said Wikipedia, my friend.
Oh, you said Wikipedia, my bad.
It's Dorothy Valens.
So it seems
we're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy.
It seems like the only like really connecting thing from the beginning that connects to the end sort of is that you see Frank and how he mistreats Dorothy, and toward the end he's not mistreating what's her name, Laura Dern's character, Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy.
He's not mistreating her in the same exact way, but it still seems like they're establishing a relationship that's not necessarily going to be the best for her. Because
he's using her.
It seems like it ends on a happy ending, though.
It does.
This movie is a very weird happy ending.
What are you specifically referring to?
So,
how he's asking her to do all this shit.
Well, not just that, but there's the scene. They find Dorothy outside and they take her back to Sandy's house so they can call an ambulance. And Sandy sort of realizes that he's been sleeping with Dorothy.
Are you talking about? And then, how abrupt she kind of just flips back.
Well, there's that, and then in the next scene, it's like she's on the phone with him, and already she's like, "I forgive you and I love you" and all this, and it just gave me that sort of vibe.
Yeah, I can definitely see, and that's one of the faults I do have with this movie is that I think that is kind of rushed. I've read and I've heard that like a lot of stuff was cut out that David Lynch wanted to do, especially like a lot of side character stuff and establishing and really. What the fuck's the word? When you're like exploring a character or like making them deeper. I don't fucking know.
Character development?
Yes, character. He was trying to. There's a lot of scenes where there's a lot more character development that had to be cut because it was getting over its like minimum 2-hour length.
Oh, they also had like his aunt. You only see a couple scenes. Yeah, who's actually the grandma on Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
But he says to his aunt, "I love you, Aunt, but you're gonna get it." Like, what, you gonna get smacked?
I love that. That's such a funny line.
Oh, it is funny, but it also like this dude's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
He's just a creep. His facial expressions is the equivalent to like a sheet of paper.
I feel like that's.
I just think that's him as an actor because he was like that in Twin Peaks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but I feel like that's definitely direction from David Lynch's part. I don't think he likes his protagonists doing like. I don't think he likes his protagonists.
You call that a burp? That was like a hairball.
So there's situations where David Lynch will show us scenes that are meant to, where we're meant to draw our own emotions from it, and I don't think David Lynch likes his characters, his main characters, making facial expressions and stuff. Because he doesn't want to force the viewer to have an emotion like that just through the main character. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I got you.
I
don't necessarily like.
But yeah, like I said, if you don't like the character, like I understand. In plenty of noir films, you're not really supposed to like the character. The main character, really. Like I said, in a lot of noir films, the genre convention is that the main character can sometimes be like kind of a dick. But I mean, genre conventions, of course, don't completely exclude a film from criticism.
Oh, I got you. Let me read this real quick because I read this before getting into the movie. I didn't read anything about the plot.
Yeah.
Or watch the movie. At the very end of the critical reception section in Wikipedia, and I quote, this is what somebody wrote. This guy's name is Mark Kermode. Walked out of the film and gave the film a poor review upon its release, but revised his review of the film over time. In 2016, he remarked, "As a film critic, it taught me that when a film really gets under your skin and really provokes a visceral reaction, you have to be very careful about assessing it. ... I didn't walk out on Blue Velvet because it was a bad film. I walked out on it because it was a really good film. The point was at the time I wasn't good enough for it."
I think what he's referring to with that is he's referring to like the sexual abuse of Dorothy.
Yeah, I would think so because that especially the first scene where the guy's acting like a baby or whatever. It's really hard to watch.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. And it's definitely supposed to be.
I didn't find it disturbing. I found it funny.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the sensibility has changed. We've seen a lot more worse shit.
Well, the thing is, I'm trying to play footsie. Well, I guess I'll play footsie. It's cool.
As long as your feet are clean.
My feet are clean. My feet are always clean. To me, you guys know, you saw me firsthand watching the Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
How I got sucked into the moment.
Oh, no, go behind you, look behind you.
I got sucked into it like that. This was the first movie in a long time where I was just like, it's just a movie. I don't feel anything for it. Yeah. Like this movie, I mean, I laughed at it because he goes, "Baby wants to fuck." Oh, don't fucking look at me. Stupid shit like that. It's just so over the top because it's Dennis Hopper, and it's. To me, it's just like, oh, well. This movie wasn't anything right home for me.
I don't know.
I'm just going to give it. No, it's just me. I'm not shitting on you.
There's little. I mean, yeah, the characters are over the top, but that's always been like a David Lynch thing where he makes these characters that are kind of larger than life and have kind of weird character traits. Like even evident is like the managers, I guess, is what they're supposed to be of the department store that. Jeffrey works at.
The blind guy.
Yeah.
How many fingers am I holding up?
They're both named Ed, and he calls them both Double Ed. And they're always right next to each other, and one of them's blind. So he just calls them both Double Ed.
Yeah, I didn't, it's a lot. Maybe there's more scenes we need a Lynch cut of this movie that I can understand more of the characters.
I think in the version that's on YouTube, I think there are some... well, they're not really deleted scenes. It's just stuff that was taken out for the MPAA. I think originally in the theatrical cut, you don't see Dennis Hopper hit Rossellini's character, Dorothy.
Yeah, but the times he did hit her, though, you could tell he wasn't hitting her face, even though he was aiming for it.
Yeah.
The way it was cut, it was smack, but it was cut to show it like he was actually hitting her, but you could tell he was fucking off. I'm not saying, hey, fucking hit the bitch.
Hit her.
I'm just saying,
touch her titties.
There's some things about this. I mean, I sit there and laughed at a couple things, but I didn't have a visceral reaction. I thought this movie was going to be like when I watched Mother, which that movie angered me a lot because it's just very irritating.
David Lynch is nothing like that kind of shit.
the Aronofsky, but this movie didn't give me that kind of reaction.
People will build up David Lynch like he's like always abstract, and there are definitely like, especially stuff in his earlier career, and even now, like, you know, with like the return of Twin Peaks, where he definitely does get very abstract. But a lot of his stuff, like the foundation, is pretty straightforward. Like even with this, like it's pretty much outside of a couple scenes, and you know the because this is kind of like proto like modern Lynch to me. Like you can see that he's kind of developing his style. You can see where like the character there's you know the really over the top kind of characters with like the big character traits. There's the hometown Americana that he loves to make movies about, and then there's that idea of there always being kind of like a dark you know underside to this like really happy you know old school Americana small town American thing, you know.
Yeah, to continue off of what Lance said, you know, Lance, you said you were going in and you were kind of expecting it to be a certain way, and it ended up not being that. What you're saying, Owen, about how people build David Lynch up so much and not having a lot of experience with David Lynch's work necessarily, I was sort of expecting it to be like, the best way I can describe it is I was expecting it to be more like a Jacob's Ladder situation. Where it's very strange,
like abstract,
but there's like a real deep meaning to everything, and it didn't really come off that way. It just came off like really weird, and at the end of it, I was just like, what was the point of this plot?
There's like overarching symbolism and stuff. The whole theme of the movie is supposed to be the dark belly of a small American town, you know, and there's he uses things like light as symbolism and stuff towards the end, but like a big symbolism is bugs, which you see bugs on the ear. When Jeffrey, our main character, goes into Dorothy Vallon's apartment, you know, to try and get the scoop, he comes in as a bug exterminator. Mm-hmm. And bugs are supposed to represent, you know, like because even the opening shot is like the most, you know, blatant David Lynchian like allegory thing ever.
But what are they supposed to represent?
Just like the kind of, because okay, so the opening shot, right, is the white picket fence. It's the smiling fireman.
It's the guy being mauled to death by that dog.
Yeah,
that dog he was licking on his dick. And when the water's like, nah. I didn't understand what the fuck happened to the guy.
He had like
a stroke. Yeah, I didn't find that out until I read the plot on Wikipedia. Yeah, that part. I'm like,
it threw me off too because he drops and I'm like, oh, he must have had like a heart attack or a stroke or something. But then it focuses on the bugs. I was like, did the bugs like? Did he get bit by one of them or something? Like,
nah, the bugs are just symbolism for like the darker. They're just symbolism for like the evil part of the small town that's like burrowing underneath. That they're like, you know, the criminal elements and stuff.
Gotcha. So the main character being an exterminator is,
well, he's not an exterminator, but he's disguising himself as an exterminator
because
there's a lot of references to the bugs.
He's like trying to exterminate the killer. Basically, he's trying to find out who it is and have it taken care of.
Yeah, he's trying to rid the world of these dark influences, basically. That's why at the end you see the robin eat the bug, because, and David Lynch straight up tells you through Laura Dern's dialogue that the robin represents love. You know, this movie's pretty like it's pretty blatant David Lynch symbolism, and there's not a whole lot that's like left to the imagination.
So he's kind of like a very high class Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie makes his stuff. He's very blatant with a lot of his stuff, even though he thinks he's being subversive and he's not.
I wouldn't say that really. Let me think.
Well, you said he's very blatant in this movie. I'm like, I kind of have like a high class Rob Zombie shit.
He's not.
For me.
I mean, like his symbolism is pretty plain, is what I mean. Like you know, he doesn't do what usually he does, where a lot of his stuff's very abstract and it's kind of hard to find the deeper meaning. But I guess we can go into plot. I don't know if you guys have anything else to say.
The thing at the beginning, when it his dad,
and
he's having the stroke, like, is there supposed to be some kind of connection with the water building up to like him right before the stroke happens?
I think that's just because
it just sounds like a hearing aid went off for him. It's the and I'm like, I don't think
it's just really something to build the tension of the scene and like create kind of like
Yeah, I just don't think you react that way when you have a stroke. I think it's more like you lean down, you're out like, timber.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never had a stroke before.
Oh, my granddad had.
Too bad
he just went to go pick him.
Yeah. I've fallen and I can't get up.
The dog's like, fuck him. I just want the water.
The water shoes.
Which is just fucking hilarious. And it's just, my granddad had a stroke and he just couldn't. He only found out because he couldn't open the car door. This thing had to call the hospital.
Said, fuck.
So, that type of deal. That thing was just kind of weird. I mean, I'm going to be, I guess, the party pooper on this movie. I just don't want. Look, it's just one of those things when you're this abstract, not abstract, but when you're this type of movie, you're going to lose people, and it lost me where it probably gained you.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I've always been a big fan of like abstraction and stuff, and
yeah,
David
but when you
Lynch
have stuff like that, that's.
Well, it's funny because we talked about this on the last episode where Owen was like, "Well, I don't really know if I want to pick this because
because you guys would shit on it."
No, I'm not going to shit on it. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think we got to the point now either, but I'm very middle of the road about this film.
And I think that, I think we've gotten to the point now in this, podcast. We've been doing it a year, over 900 listens, humble brag. Yeah. But I think that, we've gotten to a point now that we can, we're comfortable with each other. We can talk about a movie. I don't want you thinking I'm shitting on something because I don't like it.
I'm a humble brag that my dick is average.
It is. But it has a very nice girth to it, I've been told.
It's very nicely shaped. Okay, humble brag. It might be small, but it looks nice.
But I'm just saying, when you have a movie like this, or you're a director like David Lynch.
Yeah, he definitely loses people.
Yeah, you're going to lose people. It's
I'll definitely, I acknowledge that David Lynch is definitely it's definitely a love it or hate it kind of thing.
It's like we talk about different taste in music. Obviously, all three of us don't really like pop music.
Yeah,
but there are things that are catchy about it because it's made to hit a very general sense for everybody. Everybody can relate to the song or like the beat to it.
Yeah.
When you get to stuff like Tool, Cody doesn't like Tool at all. No. But me and Cody like Slipknot.
Yeah.
And Cody likes Garth Brooks. I don't like Garth Brooks at all. So there's different things you're going to lose certain people into, the music, like Tool, people who are a big fan of the Tool genre of music, the industrial metal or rock, whatever you want to call it, hate Tool because they think Tool sold out.
Fucking Tool, you fuckers sold
out. But that's
out.
just kind of like a pathway to go down that genre of music type of deal. And then you have a director like this, he's going to make a movie. It's like, I don't think he set out to sit there and discuss people because really I'm watching the movie. I'm like, there's nothing super disgusting. If you're I didn't get sucked in the movie enough to be disgusted.
Yeah, because there's nothing I don't really understand the reaction of the contemporary critics that it was. I mean, yeah, it's uncomfortable to watch and it's kind of strange and stuff. Seeing him punch her in the head and rubber vagina vigorously.
Oh, this came out in 86?
85, I think. Right?
Okay, well, you have
I guess we can look at it right here.
Critics are always fucking like that with movies.
Yeah, before you get into the plot, why don't you feed us the deets, the basic deets, the release and the budget and all that good stuff.
All right. Yeah, so released in 1986, September 12th, 1986 in Toronto, and then September 19th, 1986 in the U.S. It had a budget.
USA all the way. Woo!
USA. It had a budget of $6 million, and it made $8.6 million in the box office. So it wasn't a blowout or anything. I know Lynch made this after he made 1984's Dune, and I know Lynch hated making Dune, and critics hated Dune. So I know that this movie was supposed to be him. Sorry, Cody, go ahead.
Didn't Dune turn into a big franchise or something?
It was already a big novel franchise, and there was comic books and stuff. David Lynch was, for some reason, picked to direct a movie adaptation of the novels, which is so weird. Why would you pick David Lynch out of anybody? I mean, Dune is weird, but I don't know. It's not David Lynch weird,
Yeah.
But so yeah, I think it might have just been a paycheck to David Lynch or something like that. I think David Lynch was. I think George Lucas asked David Lynch or something to help him direct Return of the Jedi.
Oh my gosh.
and David Lynch was like, yeah, I heard him talk about Ewoks, and it gave me a headache.
Well, the thing is, David Lynch seems like the type of person, he doesn't need to take over a property. He needs to just make it from scratch.
Yeah, that's absolutely you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's like what's that fucker's name from The Last Jedi? I don't like Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to take over an IP that already exists so he can be subversive with it. He just needs to make his own shit, like start from scratch. I would probably enjoy his stuff more. That's why I had such a visceral reaction to The Last Jedi, which now it's subsided to like,
Yeah, because I mean, Knives Out is fantastic. So
I mean, I'm not
Knives
gonna
Out,
watch it. I
cocks
really don't
out,
care.
bro.
I don't really. It's not like Ryan Johnson. Like, yeah, I gotta go see these movies. I'm like, oh, it's like Clue.
Clue for you?
The murder mystery.
I don't know. I've never watched
like
it. So
Clue with Tim Curry in it.
No,
Mr.
like
Mustard.
the actual game, Clue.
Yeah.
The board game.
I thought you were referring to the movie based on the board game, Clue.
What about
Well, I never watched that either. I don't really care. I mean, Tim Curry.
What
The
about-
only thing I know Tim Curry from is like Home Alone 2 and It.
Yeah.
And
wasn't
he's also
he in
in
Lion King?
No, I
No.
don't think he's in Lion.
I don't think so.
Who's in Lion King?
No, he's in Anaconda too. No, he's not in Anaconda. It's somebody else. Because I'm getting confused.
But who the
because
fuck was in
Richie
Lion
Rich
King?
And Halloween 2, Home Alone 2, Halloween 2 with Donald Pleasance. But yeah, I mean, it's
Who
just
voices Scar in Lion King?
Jeremy
What the fuck?
Irons.
no, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. Never mind, he's right.
Why the fuck? I swear to God, everyone's always like, it's Tim Curry.
No, it's Jeremy
because he
Irons.
sounds it's that British thing.
Oh,
Everyone's like,
British.
because people can't tell
Oh,
British people
fucking
apart.
British, boy. Oh, fucking.
I mean, you can listen like Christian Bale in his real voice and then Tom Hardy in his real voice. It's like these motherfuckers sound the same. I mean,
If
it's
you
just
don't like it up north, then you can go to fuck down south. That's my impression of a British person.
it was very lovely. I loved it.
Where
But
the
yeah,
fuck
go
were
plot.
we?
And you go pull
I
up your
don't
plot.
remember. Oh yeah, we were talking about like budget and stuff. So yeah, David Lynch directed this after he had directed Dune because he wanted to return to more personal filmmaking and making stuff that just he wanted to make. But I guess we can go into the plot, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's got 94 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. It has a 1 trillion on Rotten Tomatoes. 100 million. Okay, so the plot starts out, we're giving some establishing shots of the town. It's called Lumberton. It's just like a dumb lumber town. Like, that's the only interesting thing that they have going for them. It's like just a generic Midwest town, basically. Like, all the buildings look shitty. There's nothing outstanding about it.
But there's also something about the town I liked. Like, I
That
don't know,
is
like
just-
I like the older building. I like the older shit.
Yeah,
It
that's
reminded me of
exactly what he's trying to tap into.
It
with the
reminds.
town.
There's a town in Cheatham County called Ashland City. Is the main thing, but it looks like kind of like a Mayberry. It's not huge, but
Yeah.
it has a huge factory that makes water heaters, which is A.O. Smith. Used to be State
Yeah.
Stove, but that is like what it kind of reminded me of because they still have that older building. Because you go downtown Clarksville here.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: we're in Clarksville, Tennessee. You go downtown
Yeah,
Clarksville.
find us.
They fixed a lot of the downtown buildings, but they look brand new and nicer. I like the older.
It's
look
that
of it.
old school Americana feel.
Like, don't you guys think the hot dog is the American taco?
This is the most brilliant discussion I
about
think
it.
we've ever had.
I
on
know,
the
but
podcast.
just think
is a
about
hot
it.
dog a sandwich?
No, it's not a sandwich. I won't sit there and say that because it's not. But this is a bread holding a meat that's split down the middle like a taco shell. If you put condiments on it, you can sit there and put onions, jalapenos like you do on tacos. You can put it on the hot dog. Hey, my girlfriend, who will not be named, do you think the American taco is the hot dog? She nods her head.
What? What's an even dumber question we can ask?
I wasn't being dumb.
Is
Oh,
a
look
hot
at me,
dog and a
fucker.
Pop-Tart?
Look over there.
Sorry.
Look over there. Don't look at me.
What's
No, before though, what, yes or no? I just want to know.
hot dog is the American
I
taco.
don't think so.
I
Oh, do you
feel
like Garth Brooks? What the hell do you know?
Yeah, but
I'm
the
just
thing
kidding.
about a taco is that like the meat isn't like the meat.
You
like,
can
what-
put scrambled hamburger in a hot dog bun, and it's just like taco.
Yeah, but who the fuck would do that? It's nasty.
Well, if you're out of hamburger buns, you only have hot dog buns. You're gonna fucking
Put
lose it.
fucking
You never put like I'm just curious. You're out of bread. And you only had hot dogs. You never put peanut butter and jelly in a hot dog bun.
yeah. You can put shit in a hot dog bun.
When you ever jerked off, you never put your dick in the hot dog bun before.
Yeah, you can do that, dude. Is the hot dog the fucking American version of a pussy?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of symbolism there.
Bro,
only
it's
if,
like Sausage
and
Party,
I'm just
dude.
only. Here's the thing: it's only for the heterosexual couples that is symbolism for.
It's like Sausage Party where
So
the
I don't
guys
sit there
are
and
hot
being,
dogs.
being inclusive with everybody. Like, yeah, hot dog into a bun. Huh?
The guys-
Sometimes you just have two hot dogs together.
The guys are hot
Sometimes
dogs,
you have two
but
buns
the
together,
girls
right?
are hot dog buns.
Yeah.
And then they fuck at the end of the movie.
Can I also say this before we get back in the movie that I didn't know that the peach emoji was symboling ass. I thought that was vagina. I had no idea. I just never sit there and looked up. What does the peach emoji mean? I was just like, hey, it looks like a vagina. My girlfriend's laughing at me too, and I'm just like, I had to ask her. And she goes, "How stupid are you?" I'm like, "No, I just
thought
didn't
it was
know."
supposed to be a ball sack.
The what?
What if they had an emoji?
peach
that was a
emoji.
ball sack. Like they have that emoji that's a nose, but you're like,
Yeah.
hey, it looks like a ball sack. See?
No, what if they just had an emoji that was like just straight up a ball sack with like some hair on it? And you could like change the skin color.
Oh god, that'd be hilarious. We should do that. Start making our own emojis.
And the hair density.
We should get jobs at Apple to make emoji.
No, you just send 3 emojis: peach, eggplant, and then a bush.
And then the little water squirter.
And then they have like a burning bush, like, but not symbolism for the Bible, but symbolism in case you have like crabs. I'm talking about if you have crabs or something, like, oh, it burns down there.
All right.
So we're going to the guy having a stroke.
Okay, yeah. So back into the plot.
That's what people love about this podcast, though. Cody wants to cut all the shit out. Goes, we gotta be serious, guys. Like, no, they like the side
This podcast is
shit.
going to be 5 minutes when I'm done with it. Today we're covering David Lynch's Blue Velvet. All right, next episode's The Greatest Showman. See you guys.
All right, bye. The next episode is
a fucking musical.
His Mask.
Hopefully, we'll have a guest hosting that.
Son
I
of
don't know for
Mask.
sure. I hope so.
Son of Mask. So the opening shots are just the white picket fence Americana town.
In a vagina.
Some of the car, like, one thing I want to point out is that there's such a, like, they do, he does, like, such a weird thing with the time period in this movie in which, like, a lot of the people look like they're, because a lot of the cars are, like, from the 50s and a lot of the dress is from the 50s.
Initially, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, you can tell, like, a lot of the technology and stuff is from definitely the 80s. And some people just drive 80s cars. So I always thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, his car he drives is a 73 Oldsmobile Delta 88. I looked that up. That's the only reason I know.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, holy shit.
My dad is a fan. My dad had a 69 Cutlass Supreme. 69, nice.
Nice.
He had a 69 Cutlass Supreme that he really liked. And every time you see a classic car that looks like it, it's always like a 71 model of the car. But if you look at all the Oldsmobiles back then, they all had a very similar, distinct look. And I kept thinking, well, this guy's just driving like a 71 Cutlass was what I thought.
Supreme.
But it turns out it was a 73 Delta 88. And I'm pretty sure that name kind of became very obsolete in like 1989. Like, well, we're leading up to 88, baby. Delta 88. You know, come on. So he has a stroke and he's in the hospital.
Okay, Jeffrey's father, who's the main character. Jeffrey, the main character, played by Kyle MacLachlan, his father has a stroke, which calls him back to his hometown of Lumberton. And during his visit to Lumberton, he discovers an ear decaying in the grass. It is nasty. It's covered in little bugs.
It also looks very fake, which I mean,
it looks fake when they zoom in on it.
It has mold on it, like it should be decaying.
Hey,
And
my
he
cock
puts it-
has
he
mold on
puts
it.
it in
My
his
cock
lunch
has mold
sack.
on it. Yeah, he puts
Yeah.
it. He eats it.
It's like
The funniest thing is he fucking picks it up with his bare hands.
my girlfriend, before she fell asleep, she was very
My
tired.
girlfriend, who's totally real. Okay,
She's totally
she
real.
goes to another school.
She fell asleep because I was up on it for 2 hours, and she was very tired. She's looked at me like, what?
Yeah,
And she goes, why did he pick the ear up? And then like 2 minutes later, I heard this.
Because he's going to eat
I'm
the
like,
fucking...
get off me,
He's going
please.
to eat the ear.
Yeah, it was just weird, but he gives it to the cop. This is the funniest thing. He gives it to the cop, and the cop
He gives it to the detective. The detective's
I'm going to
like...
need you to keep this quiet.
Yeah, because the detective is... I think he's covering for his friend, who is the man in the yellow suit who's involved in this criminal conspiracy.
I don't think he's covering for him. I think, because at the end of the movie, they say, it was like, sir, we're outside, whatever that dude's name is. Frank.
Yeah, Frank's...
We're outside Frank's place, like, planned. Like, they've been planning this whole thing, so I think he's been trying to keep it on the down low and didn't know his buddy was involved.
That might be right.
That's what I'm thinking, because, I mean, there was no hint of, at the end of the movie, because his partner,
Maybe,
I guess, got his head smashed with the TV.
So he wasn't in on it?
I don't think he was in on it. I think he didn't know who to trust. That's my thoughts. I'm looking too deep.
I thought he was, because here's my
he's at the end though. Remember, he's saying it's all over.
Because you had me thinking, because originally I came away thinking that he was in on the scheme, just trying to cover for his buddy. But now I'm just thinking that he was trying to keep it quiet so that they didn't know that he was on to them.
Yeah, it's like one of those. You don't know who you can trust. You don't want it leaking and all that.
Like my wiener.
And when we get to the end, I got to talk about the whole his buddy. Like it looked like his head got smashed with the TV or whatever.
Yeah, that was a very Lynchian scene right there.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me. Like
he has head trauma, bro.
Yeah, he's head trauma, and he tries to open his mouth on the blood pours out, which is kind of cool. But it's like, who in the fuck did that to him though? Because the other guy's tied up.
I don't know. So something happened, some situation. That's when Kyle MacLachlan's character, Jeffrey's like, I'll just let the cops find you.
No.
Fuck this.
I'll let the cops find you.
Yeah,
he's like, fuck this shit.
It's like that's what made you finally realize you were in too deep on this crap. Walking into this horrific scene.
But, that was a very Lynchian scene right there. That's probably the most, Lynchian, I think, that is in this movie. Well, there's, of course, the fat, hooker dancing on top of the car is very David Lynch. But
what was the song they were playing for that scene? I can't remember.
It's something
Candy Colored Candyman. Something
clown colored
Candyman.
I don't know. Candy colored Sandman.
Blue Velvet.
Which is that's a real song from the 50s.
Oh, I know.
The namesake of
my granddad used to listen to oldies stations when I was with him. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so did I, bro. Back when I was
meaner than a junkyard dog.
I like singing it. I like singing Slipknot.
Me putting the microphone in my mouth like he did the rope. So when it gets really high up in the podcast, I apologize. That's what I did.
I like singing Slipknot in Nickelback. So
you like singing Slipknot in Quebec?
He finds the ear.
Is that what you said?
He finds the fucking ear. Yeah, that is what I said.
We're gonna sing Slipknot, but in Quebec French language.
This is fucking bullshit. I've had enough of this fucking shit. Okay.
I mean, Owen just says some of the off-the-wall shit, and he just goes on like, it's not that funny to me. I'm like, that's hilarious.
I like this movie, okay? That's it. That's the end of the podcast. I like this movie. It was I love noir movies, so get fucked.
Then you'll like the Batman when it comes out next year.
No, fuck Robert Pattinson. He should have been the lighthouse guy again. Okay,
we'll jerk off.
The plot is, he finds the ear, he brings it to a detective that he knows personally, and he knows the daughter, and there's a budding romance between the two. She's supposed to be the good girl.
The thing I was confused about, I'm sorry I had to ask this question.
No problem.
Okay, he knows her. He goes to the house. After he goes, he sees his aunt and his mom. He says, I'm going to go for a walk. Yeah. He goes to the police.
I love that, when what they're watching on the TV is always, something violent or,
Yeah. It's very much. The thing I was confused about, he says, say hello to, I'm assuming his daughter's name. And when he leaves, but then he sees the daughter come up. And I didn't know that was supposed to be the same woman. I thought he knew an older sister or something like that at first when I was watching it. Yeah. But I'm like, well, he just said say goodbye to her or hello to her for me. But when he saw her, she goes, are you the one that found the ear? And it's like he didn't know who she was. That was the thing that was confusing in the dialogue.
I mean, I don't know. She just could have... She probably, knew him, distantly. But
yeah, but he didn't seem like he knew her,
She didn't know... I don't know. I mean, she's a senior in high school or some shit.
No, but who was she saying? Say hello to this person. I'm assuming that was her daughter.
You're thinking about it too much.
Well, I mean, isn't this what the movie's supposed to do to me, though? I'm just curious.
No.
It's not. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. We're just clear.
I've had enough of this shit.
I'm not shitting on the movie. I'm asking questions. I'm like, isn't this I'm very plot driven on these movies. I like things to make sense. Unless it's just completely wacky going into it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from.
But that was just the thing I thought was weird. I'm like, isn't that the same person he just said to them to say hello to? And he's acting like he doesn't know her.
Yeah.
And then he does a little duck walk, which is really
the duck walk is the opening kind of scenes with them together is very strange.
Like he goes, I knew a kid at that house. who had the longest tongue in the world. Like, what the fuck?
He was like the most.
That was another one of those moments. Is like a finger. Freddie got fingered.
Freddie got fingered.
Yeah, I keep.
I
thinking
thought he
the
was
movie's
like
called Fingered by Freddie.
No, it's the other way around.
Well, that was like the 8th edition of Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddie got fingered. So according to Jacob.
But
the whole thing, he goes, I knew a kid with the longest tongue in the world. I'm like, what ended up happening to him?
Yeah,
he licked my ass.
Yeah, he licked his own cock.
He's like, oh, look at this guy.
But yeah, he's terrible at breaking the ice.
I think he's terrible at everything.
The woman.
Like, have you ever seen the chicken walk or whatever? Is that this part?
Oh, chicken walk, not duck walk. Yeah, you're right.
Cock walk, bro.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, that's the chicken walk. That shit was just weird. I'm like,
he's the cock of the walk.
This dude's supposed to be in college.
Yeah, he's obviously failing. So Sandy tells, what the fuck's his name? Jeffrey. Sandy tells Jeffrey that she keeps hearing a name brought up with the case. It is Dorothy Valens, and she lives at a specific apartment. He has a plan to go in there just to see what's up and like open her window. So I guess
she lives on the 7th floor, and you see the building originally. It does not look 7 floors tall.
There's one up in.
But you only see like 2, and that looks like that's in the building, but it keeps going up, which is just wild to think about.
I don't remember, honestly.
That's the thing I came with, like my visual, me remembering that scene. Like, damn, like that only looks like it has 2 floors. She's like, 7th floor, damn. They got all that in 2. Like you sit there and said, like,
yeah, he finds the keys in the apartment. He's dressed as an exterminator. He goes and sees her at the. It's called like the.
He also sees the yellow man.
Yeah, the yellow jacket guy goes into her apartment while he's cleaning,
and he looks at him just like kind of gives him a smirk.
He's like, "What the fuck?
Who the fuck is this white boy?
You look like a pickle."
Oh God.
So he takes her keys. And
how does she not notice her keys were missing?
I don't know. Maybe she don't use them. Maybe she's just dumb.
Oh yeah, I would say she is.
The bad guy's already being led into the apartment, so what's the point in locking the door?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he does say that she wants to die, so I don't think she really cares. So he goes and sees her at the Slow Dance is the club, which is like a common thing in a lot of like David Lynch things. There's always like a club or some kind of like. There's usually like always a diner and there's always like a club. So he goes there, he sees her, she performs, she sings Blue Velvet. I guess I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think the Blue Velvet symbolizes?
Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was getting a pop quiz today.
Pop quiz, motherfuckers. I mean, no, this is like a
pop quiz, hot shot.
Because I'm not sure.
I don't know. Really. I tried to figure that out as I was watching the movie, and at one point I thought maybe, I don't know.
I assumed it just like symbolized.
It just symbolized her, but
yeah,
I don't know in what way that would work.
I thought it was just like sex.
Let me look here on the Wikipedia page.
I don't know if it's on there because there is like a section for like symbolism and stuff, but
yeah, it doesn't have anything. I don't know. To me, I'm just saying, and I'm probably 100% wrong on it. I don't know if the Blue Velvet means anything. I think he just needed like something to tie up Frank's obsession. He heard the song and says, "Oh, Blue Velvet, cool. I'll just put that in the movie."
He always cries to like a lot of these songs. They mean a lot to Frank.
Yeah. So I just think like the David when David heard heard that song, was just like, "A Blue Velvet, that's cool. That's unique," and just put it in the movie and made it the title. I think it was something that simple.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think these movies probably mean something to David Lynch. He was born like in like the late 40s or something. So
he might be Frank himself. He's like, "Oh."
He said, "I was born in a small town. I was born in a small town.
Gonna come on my mama." Sorry.
Nice. That's the best part of that song.
It is.
But so he sees her in the blue room, and he kind of gets an infatuation with her, which is another noir genre staple.
She also takes off her wig.
Yeah, she does take off her wig. I never figured out if if her hair throughout the movie was like a wig, or
or
why she would need a wig, because if her normal hair is like already like curly and stuff, then
I think people wear wigs to like protect their actual hair, so they don't have to keep doing like stuff to treat it and make it different, shapes or whatever. That's what my girlfriend tells me. And obviously, men wear wigs because they don't want to be bald.
Yeah, that's why I wear a wig on my dick.
My dick is hairless, and I think it's weird.
He's covered.
No, but I just think it was just weird. She takes off the wig, and I'm thinking, damn, is she a dude?
Yeah, I thought she was like bald, or I thought that was supposed to like, because when I first saw her do it, I thought it was like just some kind of like, oh, she's actually like ugly or some shit.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch, like, I guess like that part, because when she takes off her wig, her hair is a little short and pulled up in a really tight bun, obviously. Yeah. But then she gets out of the shower or wherever she does, and her hair looks exactly
her hair
the
is
same as the wig.
the hair is the same.
And it doesn't.
We should pretext this with Jeffrey, our main character, has snuck into her house, and he was supposed to. Sandy was supposed to warn him when Dorothy was coming up, but he was pissing because he drank too much Heineken, which he loves Heineken. And he did not hear the honks, so
I just like how he went into an apartment. Was like, you know what?
He's like, I gotta piss.
What if he had to take a shit though? Like,
I got shit. Hopefully he would pinch it off, bro. But he had to
pinch it off.
He had to take a little dive into the closet.
Is that symbolism too?
I don't know, actually. I mean, it might be like shit. Hey, fun Silent Hill trivia is that when James is in the closet in Silent Hill 2, it's a direct reference to this scene, where our main character is watching Frank beat the shit out of Dorothy through the closet.
Oh, really?
Isn't in Silent Hill 2 when he's in the closet, isn't that when you see Pyramid Head like assaulting the mannequins or whatever?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So
that's such a deep reference for such a shitty movie.
I like this movie.
Oh, I'm talking about Silent Hill. Oh, you're talking about the game.
Yeah, the game.
I thought we were talking about Silent Hill Revelation. My bad.
I was like, damn.
My bad. I thought we were talking about Silent Hill Revelations.
I was like, you cut me deep there, Lance.
I was like, this is hurtful in two ways.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
Either way, this could be very hurtful.
I was just thinking, because I kept referring to it as Silent Hill 2 just because I couldn't remember the subtitle.
No, if we were referring to the second movie, it would be, fuck Facebook, do you?
Fuck Facebook. Poo-poo? Poo-poo? So, yeah, there's that. So she finds, before he sees Frank assault her, she finds him in the closet, and
what you doing there?
They have a strange sexual encounter. It's very weird.
You can undress.
There's, I don't know, some kind of weird. She has something wrong with her.
Your disease is in me.
He put his disease in me.
What?
His cock is his disease.
Hold on. I laughed because I told my girlfriend.
He busted a fucking nut.
After he has sex with her, she goes, your disease is in me. Talking about his cum. And she goes, I keep it around now. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this movie?
You think he really did bust a nut? He should have pulled out. What a bastard.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, I don't.
He should have pulled out.
She's on birth control, so it's fine.
I didn't see her take a pill anytime during this movie.
Oh my god. Yeah, not her. I'm talking about my real life, but okay. I haven't worn a condom since like 2007. And I'm still STD free, so fuck y'all.
That's what you think.
You're the only one in this conversation that is.
Oh, Cody has herpes?
Yeah, surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, he does have cold sores. You do have herpes, don't you, Cody?
Yeah, cold sores.
Those are herpes.
This is deep cut.
So whose dick did you suck?
Damn, Cody. What about when we kissed, bro? What the fuck?
Well, that's how you got it.
You motherfucker. So that's what those were.
He said they were love bumps.
God damn it.
But he watches her, like, before she discovers him in her closet, he watches her and she's like, she has a picture hidden of her husband and her son underneath the couch, and she looks at it. Of course, you don't see that until later on.
Yeah.
After he fucks her. He goes, wow.
Actually, he doesn't fuck her then, does he?
Yeah, no, that's when she's like saying like hit me and all that after Frank leaves, and he's like, he's basically like, I'm out. I'm not doing that. And
she's like, bitch, I ain't gonna hit you.
Yeah, that's when he sees the picture. So.
And then he sees Frank show up. Okay, real quick question.
That's later on, I think.
I think that's the same scene.
Frank is during this first encounter.
Oh yeah, he's naked. She tells him to undress.
Yeah, and then
he
goes in the closet, and then Frank shows up.
Yeah, and then he leaves, and then he tries to comfort her.
No, we can't skip that part though. Not the part. We can't
skip the part where Frank is like,
he's like,
maybe once fuck.
He's like, spread your legs.
I saw a really funny comment on YouTube that said like, someone should edit that scene and make it to where he's huffing helium, and his voice just gets high pitched.
What do you think he's got in the mask? Like what?
I don't think he really. Well, I mean, I don't know.
I think it's. I got the impression it was just oxygen. Like maybe he's on oxygen.
Yeah, he's just like a bad smoker. That would be pretty interesting if like the bad guy to see the bad guy be that
vulnerable.
Weak.
Yeah. But he doesn't do it throughout the whole movie. He only does it when he wants to get like.
I feel like
when he gets horny, he does.
Yeah, maybe it is some kind of.
It might just be like pure oxygen, but you get that high off of the oxygen.
Yeah.
You don't think? I mean, I have sleep apnea, obviously, and so my sleep mask, the oxygen's like really pure at first. You're like, oh fuck, you're not used to it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, smoke on the water,
smoke
dun, dun,
on the water,
dun, 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 dun.
Smoke
you know,
on the
and
water.
I guess now that we've been introduced to Frank, I will say the writing for that character is not good. I mean, he's basically just saying fuck every other word.
He said, "You fucker."
So and everything he says is a reference to fucking. It's like he wants to go out there to get fucked. We're gonna show him fuck town and all this stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, like this is so.
So Cody, don't you think
bad.
He's like Fred Durst?
It's a shame that you can't say fuck. Fuck's just a word, and it's all fucked up.
And you know, we got to do a quick thing. The young girl, his girlfriend, what's her name?
Sandy. It's
Sandy,
Laura Dern.
That's the chick who plays in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. It took me a while to place her. I was like,
yeah, I had to look her up. I'm like, oh my god, that is her. She also plays in Last Jedi. There's another connection.
Yeah.
And
which they really, the character she plays in Last Jedi is terrible.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna start picking these new. We're gonna watch the new Star Wars movies just to see Owen's opinions of it. That'd be so entertaining.
I hate those fucking movies.
I can't wait.
They give me cancer.
Damn. What the fuck, dude?
They give me eye cancer.
But also the aunt is the grandma from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
She's the one. She's
I
like,
thought you meant like there was an ant, like a life-size ant. I was like, I don't remember that.
His aunt was like, "You're gonna get it," and she's the one that she goes, "I like to have a nice warm glass of milk before bed." He goes, "You can have nice warm glasses. Shut the hell up.
Bitch.
You're in my world, Grandma."
I wonder what she was gonna say. Where she was saying something during that scene where she's like, you know, sometimes a nice marriage or like something can really save a marriage, but I don't remember what she said.
Yeah, I think she was gonna say, "If your husband has a stroke and can't fight back,"
Yeah.
like what happened in this movie. So, boy, he had a stroke and they had him in a fucking halo and everything, dude.
Halo.
That was hilarious. He's like, "Yeah,"
he said, "I can't
talk."
talk.
I'm like, good God.
Yeah.
That shit was that was probably more disturbing to me than like the woman abuse in this movie, because the woman abuse looked kind of fake, but that whole thing was just like kind of disturbing when he's in the hospital with his dad. I'm like, holy damn, dude.
So yeah, there's that. Jeffrey further investigates this ring of criminals.
Ring of Fire.
Yeah, this secret ring of criminals. Stella.
Oh, I didn't know what the fuck.
Shut the fuck up, cat. God damn it, bitch. Fucker.
Here, we're like, who the fuck is that?
So yeah, he further investigates this ring of like criminals and stuff. He eventually gets confronted by Frank, and because he sees him coming out of the apartment, and he stops
her.
Yeah. That's I think they do actually fuck before that. That's where they really did fuck.
Yeah,
he's already gone over there a couple times by that point.
Yeah. There's something I forgot to mention. Right before he goes into the apartment to sneak in and like look around and shit, not as the exterminator, but like right before he like sneaks in while she's gone, there's a shot where you go into the fucking decaying like nasty ear. You go into its like little canal
at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, you come out.
At the end of the movie, you come out into the bright light out of his normal ear, out of the other end. A lot of times, darkness is used in this movie to represent when bad shit's about to happen. Dennis Hopper straight up says, like, "It is dark now," which basically just means that like the world is fucked up now because I'm doing bad shit. So yeah, that was just something.
Yeah, you only had a few scenes at the beginning of the movie that was like during daytime.
Yeah,
everything was like dusk or like going into dark.
Yeah, as the movie reaches towards like the climax, it's really starts. You only really start seeing it in dark, which is of course part of the visual theme. So yeah, Jeffrey uncovers kind of the plot. He gets confronted by the guy. They take him to Fucktown, and they drink past fucking Blue Ribbon.
Heineken. Screw that shit, man.
Past fucking Blue Ribbon. And Jack Nance shows up, who is a David Lynch regular. He played the main character in Eraserhead, and he was also in Twin Peaks. I love Jack Nance.
Is this the guy that plays Ben?
He's the guy with the hat that always has like his chin jutted out.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the guy they went to go see.
Yeah, they see Ben, I guess, and he's supposed to be the suave motherfucker. And so there's that scene. After that, they take him out into the woods.
Thank you for the toast. That was very polite.
Toast.
Punches him right in the stomach.
He punches him in the fucking. He's like, "Did he hurt your head?" So they take him out into the woods. They play that. They play that song.
Well, they only take him out to the woods because fucking he punches.
Well, no, they were taking him out to the woods to begin with, but then he punches Dennis Hopper's character, and that sends him on a tirade. And he gets pissed off, and he throws him out of the car, and he's like, "I'll send you a letter straight from my heart. You know what that is? It's a fucking bullet, fucker."
This is after Dennis Hopper kisses him a couple times with
Actually,
lipstick.
I like Dennis Hopper's character, Cody. I'm sorry. Okay.
I think he's the only memorable part of this movie.
He's funny. Okay, I like it when he says "fucker." It makes me laugh.
He's the most memorable character from this movie.
Yeah.
And he's obviously the best actor of the movie.
Yeah.
So.
So then, yeah. So he like beats the shit out of him, and then Jeffrey comes home.
Oh, he comes.
Yeah, he comes all right. So he goes home, and he's trying to reveal this shit to the detective. Or no, he goes to the police office, and he finally discovers why every time he offers to go to the police for Dorothy, why she always denies it. The help of the police is because one of like the chief detectives is in on this crime ring.
Okay. I hate to interject. Do you think she doesn't want that, or is she just afraid that something's going to happen to her husband and son? I don't know if it's that deep.
No, I mean, she doesn't want the police involved because it wouldn't help her. Yeah, something would probably happen to her.
Yeah, but I don't know if
he's involved in this, like, because that detective guy's involved in it.
Yeah, do you think she knows who that detective guy is? Yeah, she
does. He comes over to her house all the time.
My bad.
So, yeah, that happens. Fuck. Where was I?
Oh,
Oh yeah, he reveals.
Well, he doesn't really. He discovers that guy.
Yeah, he discovers all that. He brings all of his evidence to Sandy's father, who's another detective, and he tells him to shut the fuck up about it. Either because A, he's involved in it, or B, he is just trying to keep it on the down low and doesn't want.
Still trying to hold on to that first thing you had going, didn't you?
I'm not fully convinced either way. I really don't, because I don't remember any scene where he's like, I don't know. I mean, I could see it, but I don't know. Whatever.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, yeah, I think it was kind of like this. You're like, okay, it's either this. I'm like, okay, man.
Well, I mean, like, I can see what you mean, but
yeah.
That was my first interpretation walking away from the movie. That was what I thought.
Okay.
Gotcha. So yeah, he brings it to him. He doesn't want any of this shit happening. And then Jeffrey takes Sandy to the dance. They go back to his house.
Well, they kiss and they tell each other they love each other.
Yeah, they love each other.
Which is very sudden.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, it feels like they barely know each other.
I mean, I told my girlfriend the first night we were together that I loved her. But I've known her for 10 years before that.
Well, yeah, it's different.
He sees Dorothy's outside of her house and she's naked as fuck, and the bullies out her harassing him for taking.
Well, it's Sandy's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, he was gonna kick Jeffrey's ass, and then they see this naked lady all bruised up and fucked up, and he thinks it's his mom, and so he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry." And then they take Dorothy to Sandy's parents' house.
And the mom's everybody's nonchalant about her being naked.
Like,
There's no like offer to cover her up at first. They're all just kind of
they
standing
do,
and staring.
And that's when Sandy discovers the affair, or not really affair, but the strange sexual relationship going on between Jeffrey and Dorothy.
Have you disease?
And she feels betrayed. He put this fucking nasty
Doesn't
penis.
she look at Sandy and say that he has disease in
Yeah, she does say that.
God. That's when he looks at her and goes, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
He's like, please shut up. Yeah, you can tell he's like really uncomfortable. He's like, please stop. He's like, this bitch nasty. Shit.
Okay, do you think Frank... Okay, when Frank was on top of her doing the whole blue velvet thing, he was like... yeah,
he's
and then
like
he
dry
comes.
humping her.
Do you think he was dry humping her, or was he like...
I didn't ever see any indication that he pulled anything out. So
Yeah, I don't
Well, I
think
felt like he
getting
took her
off.
panties off because he was at her legs a lot.
I think her underwear was already off, I thought.
No, she's
because earlier on he had said, "Show it to me."
Yeah, he says, show it
to me.
She just pulls out like...
Baby wants to fuck.
Baby wants
that
to
shit was stuck in my
fuck.
head because you hear that stupid song on TikTok where they go, oh no, no, baby wants to fuck. It goes into it perfectly.
Baby wants to fuck. Don't look at me, you fucker.
He's like, fucking fuckers. He says that right before he thinks her get down on the ground.
What happens after?
After
Well,
what?
he comes.
After
then
they
leaves.
bring
It's dark.
Dorothy to...
They take her. The ambulance shows up, and they take her, and she like screams when she's in the ambulance, and then it cuts to that scene I was talking about earlier where he's on the phone with Sandy, and
He's like, I love you, babe.
yeah, he's like,
Pedicure on my
forgive
toes.
me.
He's like, look, we weren't together. Okay, I was just pumping loads.
I've never heard it described.
It was just a pump.
It
It was just a pump and dump.
I'll tell my girlfriend, hey, you want to go pump a load?
She had a nice little turd cutter on her.
In the studio erupts in applause.
He was like, God damn, did you see that dumper? Shit.
I want to show her my poop.
He was like, what was the man supposed to do? Come on now.
Especially you ain't putting out because you 17.
We can't even. They get married at the end, dude. So it's legal.
Everything's so happy. At
It was
end
the
of the movie.
50s.
It makes no sense.
Yes, it's love wins, dude. Love wins. Okay, so we go. I forget. They call like the police, and they
Baby, don't hurt
They raid
me.
Frank's thing, and then we have this fucking graphic ass shootout.
It was a very quick shootout, though.
Yeah, there's like blood on the fucking cop car and shit.
Yeah, the one cop gets killed. I thought that, like, all the cops died for some reason because you
Yeah, I
don't
did
see anybody
too.
else shooting. What, Cody?
Yeah,
I did
can
too,
see.
and I thought that her dad was there too, and I thought he got killed. I was like, oh shit! And then
He's
he's
fucked.
alive later, so I was like,
Frank.
I must have.
It's like, sir, aren't you dead?
Excuse me, sir. Are you okay?
So yeah, that happens. The shootout happens. He goes into her apartment and he sees this strange scene where her husband is dead. And
he was right about his theory that his ear was cut off, and that was a warning sign because his ear is missing.
Yeah. And
Okay, so I was confused as to who the two people were in her apartment.
yeah, it's the yellow jacket detective and her husband.
Which I
Her
thought he
husband
looked like
is
the Ben
Her
guy.
husband is the one that's tied up, right?
Her husband, yeah, he's the guy with the bullet through his head.
And then the detective is the one with his head.
His head's
part
like
of his brain
fucked up.
exposed.
Yeah, and he's like all stupid.
And I thought, like, with the guy that was tied up originally, I thought for some reason he looked like that Ben guy because his face was pale and he had that kind of curlyish hair.
I wonder if
But that's actually her husband, though.
I wonder if the detective, the yellow suited detective, was in on it as undercover, and that's why he got like his head fucked up.
I don't
Maybe,
know.
because it would seem weird for him to just randomly kill the detective if he was actually like part of their crew. So you may be right that maybe he was undercover.
Because I was wondering too why the yellow suited detective had like a brain injury in
Well,
that
the
scene.
TV was smashed. Who smashed him in the TV?
I don't know. For some reason, David Lynch really likes smashed TVs. Like it's always like been a constant through so much of his works. There's just like like in the beginning of Fire Walk with Me, he like there's just a scene of like a sledgehammer going through a TV. And that's like the opening scene.
Does he hate television?
Yeah, he said fuck TV.
Like, he says one
Fuck
day,
TV,
30
now I'm gonna go
years,
make a cult
we will
classic
have these little
television
TVs
show.
in our hands.
Yeah, exactly. He's like fucking TV. Well, to be fair, he made Fire Walk with Me after
Twin Peaks.
after Twin Peaks got
So
canceled.
maybe that's what pissed him off. He's like, people
Yeah, he was like-
quit bothering me about doing another season of Twin Peaks. Damn it!
He's like, I'm so fucking sick of this goddamn TV show.
That's what he sounds like.
That is what David Lynch fucking sounds like. He's like, I am David Lynch. I can.
Do
I'm
George
here-
Lucas real quick.
I'm here in the Black Lodge getting my dick sucked.
I am David Lynch. Please take me to your leader.
Have you ever seen a David Lynch video, Cody, where he like talks?
No,
Shit. I really wish I could just show you one like right now.
I'll look one up here in a little bit.
Yeah, just
Real
look
quick
up.
question.
Like fucking, I don't know. Just look up like him on Twin Peaks. Like look up fucking Gordon Cole Twin Peaks or something. And that's exactly him.
Hey, do me a favor. Do your George Lucas about talking about Jar Jar.
I love Jar Jar.
Can I touch the roll in your neck, George Lucas?
No, don't touch it. This is for Jar Jar.
Cody showed me a video years ago of this guy imitating him. He goes, "You like my neck roll? Go ahead and touch it." And he had the interview touch the neck roll.
Hold on. Let me show you, Lance, a video of David Lynch as he was a character in Twin Peaks and his voice.
His sultry voice.
Yeah, his sultry.
Like what I'd like to have right now.
Sultry like Fred Durst.
Yeah.
Just keep rolling. What?
Keep rolling.
Here, I think he talks in this. That's David Lynch.
And in the process, engage you with an anecdote of no small amusement.
I'm here.
He sounds like an old
To be fair, he's doing like kind of like he's doing like a fake impression of his own voice when he's like playing Gordon Cole in Twin Peaks, but he pretty much just sounds exactly like that.
I mean, he kind of sounds like a transatlantic reporter, like radio reporter from like the 40s or something.
He did like live in Pennsylvania for a long time, so maybe he picked it up there or some shit.
And I can hear you honestly.
You don't understand.
Yeah, his entire character in this like in Twin Peaks is he's like the FBI director, but he can't hear for shit. So he's basically like Larry, and he has like hearing aids, and he's like, "What? I can't hear you."
That's
So
hilarious.
quick sidebar, Owen. Have you ever played Deadly Premonition?
Yes. And the entire game is just a ripoff of fucking Twin Peaks.
Yeah, so that's pretty much like the most David Lynch thing I've ever experienced, is because I haven't really had experience
Dude,
with David Lynch.
it is
per se.
literally fucking 1-to-1 basically in terms of story. Actually, Deadly Premonition is what got me into Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah, I might have to give Twin Peaks a try then.
Yeah, if you like Deadly Premonition, you'll fucking love Twin Peaks. Maybe not the second season, because like I said, quality starts dipping in the second season, but you'll fall in love with most of it.
Okay. I guess the only part of the plot left is when the big reveal happens, if you can call it that.
The big reveal?
Yeah, where he finds out that he realizes that Frank is the well-dressed man or whatever.
Oh yeah, Frank is the will. That did kind of come out of nowhere. I was just like, oh okay, he's the well-dressed man, I guess.
You see the well-dressed man in like one scene earlier, and it's like, oh, they brought this
funny.
back.
It's funny the shot of him looking up the stairs. He looks so serious in his dumb fucking like wig and fake mustache. It's just fucking.
I thought he also had fake eyebrows on too.
I think he did. Yeah, he did. It's just Dennis Hopper looking up the stairs like so serious
So
with his
what-
dumb fucking haircut.
Okay, this may be stupid of me to ask this question. I thought earlier, okay, when he's taking the pictures,
Yeah.
you see Frank in the yellow jacket, or yellow man, not yellow jacket, yellow man, shake hands, and they walk into the building. And later on, the yellow man comes back out and greets another man.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I thought the sharp-dressed man was that drug dealer they killed in the city.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
that
And
plot line kind of lost me because I think I was eating when that was
Well,
happening. So.
Well, I was watching it, and it lost me too, because it's like, so they go to the top of the stairs, and they point in the distance, and there's someone who's been shot, and I just don't understand. Like they briefly introduce all these characters, if you can call them that, like the yellow man and the well-dressed man and all that, all for it to ultimately end up being Dennis Hopper as the well-dressed man, who was also in the same meeting with the yellow man before the yellow man met with the well-dressed man.
That was after.
Dennis Hopper was playing the long con.
Yeah, after it just
so maybe
they had the meeting, and then the yellow jacketed man left, and then,
he walked out to the building. That's when he shook hands.
Then he met with.
Do you think they knew that he was being watched, and that was the only way for him to leave, to confuse?
I have no clue.
I don't know.
Because I mean, why would Dennis Hopper have to leave dressed as the well-dressed man when he's just talking to the guy in the yellow jacket?
Well, we already know he's a weirdo. I mean,
well, what gave you the clue, Cody?
He's a strange sex addict.
I think it's kind of normal.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically just every man. I don't see what's the big
I don't see
deal.
what you guys are talking about.
I mean, what, you guys have never kidnapped like a husband and child to have sex with like a woman? Like, okay, so fucking the end of the movie, he shoots fucking Frank in the fucking chest with the gun.
In the head.
Oh, his head.
Oh, in the head.
And he tricks him.
Dude, I know more about this movie than you do. This is your
Get
movie.
some head.
He realizes that he's probably listening, and tells.
Yeah, because he has a police radio. Set up in
he tells
middle.
Detective Williams, he's like, I'm in the bedroom in the back of the apartment. And then he runs into the closet real quick.
Yeah, and then he waits for him, and then shoots him in the fucking head. And then they all live happily ever after. He's now, I guess, married to Sandy. Jeffrey is.
I like how his ass is like sleeping while the old men are actually working in the yard.
He says,
"Hey, you guys doing a good job over there?"
Isn't his dad completely fine after that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess like fucking just the evil influence of Frank and his posse made his dad have a fucking heart attack.
Main Street Posse.
Well, the Robin ate the bug.
Yeah, the Robin did eat the bug, so I guess that cleared it up.
That cleaned up the town. That Robin is
but
a hero.
That
and
last shot.
Later, that Robin became Nightwing.
Yeah, the Robin looks like
I was
shit.
about to say, isn't that Batman? Like...
But the close-up shot of Kyle MacLachlan's ear, you can see a zit. I thought that was important.
Is it important?
Yeah, you can see a zit next to his ear. It's pretty gross.
You think David Lynch was like...
He was like, that's a nasty zit, Kyle.
He's like, you know what, don't tell him. We're just going to leave it there. It's fine.
He's like, please pop that zit, Kyle. That's disgusting. No one wants to see that.
Actually, let me film it first.
Actually, pop it into my mouth.
That's what my girlfriend said, too.
Baby wants zit.
Baby wants zits. Say that for me, Kyle. Hurry up. I want that creamy liquid in my belly. That's my David Lynch impression. Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Thank you for coming to the podcast. The only excuse was to have a David Lynch impression. Okay, so that's the end.
The world as we know it.
This is the greatest movie ever made. You don't have to listen to these other two guys. You can just listen to me. That's okay. It's a pretty damn good movie. If you like Twin Peaks, you'll like it. Twin Peaks is good. So that's it. Get fucked. Okay. Follow us on Twitter. No, I guess I'll let these guys have their opinions. I'll start with Cody. We'll go alphabetically.
You already gave yours. How's that alphabet?
Yeah, well, because I'm fucking first in the alphabet, dude. It's O. Oh, that's at the beginning.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, right.
Auto parts. Hey, you're next to O'Reilly.
Hey, you're next to O'Reilly's off the intersection, and you live directly at this apartment.
He's very sensitive.
And you leave your keys under the mat.
I don't think I would recommend this movie. It's a hard movie to recommend. It's weird. It doesn't really seem like the plot has a purpose.
It's just a mystery, bro.
Well, but it's not even really a mystery because, I mean, you kind of already know that Frank is the antagonist and the one responsible for what's going on. So, I mean, there's not really a mystery to figure out, except unless you count the weird, like, throw in at the end that Frank is also the well-dressed man, which just doesn't make much sense. If you're a David Lynch fan, I'm sure you'll like it.
Hell yeah.
But it's just too difficult to recommend this movie.
I love this movie. And no, I'm just kidding. I agree with Cody. Just on the recommendation part, I don't recommend this movie like in a general sense. If you're curious about this movie, if you read like the synopsis and you're like, oh yeah, I would definitely watch it. I'm not going to sit there and tell anybody not to watch a fucking movie, but it's not something I would suggest. This is like, I got about the same amount of, well, I got less entertainment out of this movie than I did Silent Hill Revelation. And Silent Hill Revelation was just a bad movie that I like to laugh at. In this movie, I had the, oh baby wants to fuck part, which was funny. But everybody else's acting compared to Dennis Hopper is so like straight and monotone by design. I get that, but Dennis Hopper, I don't know. It felt like this movie was just like, well, we just gotta get Dennis Hopper back into the limelight in Hollywood because his character compared to everybody else is just like so over the top. Of course, you have his cronies, and all they do is really laugh and say just, oh, he said no, or whatever they do. And all that. Like I say, if you like David Lynch, you like Twin Peaks and all that stuff, yeah, you're definitely going to want to watch this movie. It's just not for me. And which is not a bad thing. I'm not sitting there like, I'm just going to shit on this movie. I'm just saying it's just not my taste. You know? It's okay to have a different like taste than people. No, but you're completely wrong for picking this movie, Owen.
Every one of your movies that you guys have ever picked are shit. Every movie.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I kind of agree with you there.
I'm going to sandbag every subsequent movie that isn't mine.
I don't think I sandbagged you.
We didn't sandbag your movie.
I'm going to sandbag hard.
I feel like I asked you a bunch of like legit questions that
preventatively
I thought you wouldn't know the answers to. Well, get mad at me. You didn't know the answers to them. I'm messing with you. I mean, he's the one that knows all about the symbolism.
Stupid as I am.
You fucking stupid, bro. I mean, this movie's probably going to be better than the next movie that we're going to do, The Greatest Showman.
Don't speak too soon.
Yeah, Cody,
isn't that a fucking musical?
Your movie sucks balls.
Yes, it's a musical.
It's good. I'm like, look, maybe you and Jacob will think it's good.
Musicals suck my balls.
And this new movie that, I don't know, that one in New York, this musical that just came out, they've got all these celebrities saying, oh, it's great, it's got a 99 on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's fucking bombing in the theater because musicals suck.
You know, Lynn, everyone was all about Lin-Manuel Miranda or whatever when Hamilton came out.
And I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's the one that made that new movie you're talking about.
Yeah, he made Hamilton.
Yeah.
What is Hamilton?
Hamilton's a musical about...
So you just lost me with the music
Alexander
part.
Hamilton.
I just quit listening.
Yeah,
no offense to you.
But it's like American history in rap, and everyone was like going nuts about it, like, oh, it's so amazing, one of the best musicals ever.
They said, oh, I'm gonna suck this movie.
Disney Plus put it on their service, and I watched it, and I watched like 10 minutes of it. I was like, this fucking sucks, and turned it off. Like, I don't know what people were talking about.
I remember, because I'm a big fan of like that Regency era of history, and I remember like as soon as that musical came out, like everybody was like, I'm so interested in when they wear wigs and had duels. It's so interesting.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, shut up, bitch.
2 weeks before that.
Yeah, I was like,
there's
who's the second president was Abraham Lincoln or Benjamin Franklin?
I think the second president was probably wasn't he George H.W. Bush? Wasn't Obama the second president?
It's probably that. But the only musical movie I like, there's one movie, it's called Rigoletto, and it's just I don't even think it's a musical. It just has a lot of like singing in it, and it's just a weird movie. I remember watching.
What about Disney movies? Those are musicals.
Yeah, I don't watch Disney movies anymore.
In a far off place.
I mean, the music parts are what I kind of tune out in like Disney stuff.
What is that from, Cody?
Waiting for me. It's Hercules.
Oh. You mean Hercules? You mean what? Fuckyles.
The other thing is, since Disney took over Star Wars, why doesn't the Star Wars movies have musicals in them?
Yeah, why don't they start singing and shit now?
Darth Vader, here he comes down the halls. Darth Vader.
Here he comes with his ball.
There's blood on the wall. Stormtroopers come marching in, shoot, and they miss everything.
Cody, is this off the top of your head? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
This is some good shit, dude.
He has some good shit. He unfortunately edits a lot of it out or deletes it. Like
you should write this down and create a musical about Star Wars.
I will never let Cody forgive. I will never forgive him about the NCAA thing that he did because that thing would have had like probably 10 million views by this point.
Wait, what?
We're sitting there playing a college football game,
Yeah.
and I'm recording him on Snapchat, and he's doesn't know I'm doing it. He's just like NCAA, 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 and then he picks his hand up and goes, "Brown," and it was just so stupid and great because it was natural. It wasn't put on like I just did. And he goes, "No, let me see it." And my dumbass is like, "Okay," and he just deletes the motherfucker when I didn't save it like a fucking
Damn,
moron.
Cody, you play the long game, bro. You fucking sneak in there and delete that
Cody
shit.
plays the fucking short game with everything. He was like, "No."
Hey, let me see it. That was the most ingenious tactic. The let me see it.
Yeah, my dumbass was like, "Okay." Because I, for some reason, trusted my friend not to delete my shit. I was a fucking moron.
He deletes like your childhood pictures and shit. He's like, "There you go, bitch."
He saves everything but that video. You go, "You motherfucker. Fuck your grandma."
He's like, "How was that, motherfucker? I burned your fucking baby books too."
Oh shit.
But Cody's very much like, he does that shit. I've been debating back and forth when it gets to like my next movie. I'm like, okay, I want to do Abbott and Costello meet Wolfman or Frankenstein, and then we'll do the Wolfman. I really kind of just want to review the new Star Wars movies. Just those three.
I feel like
we're not decide ones, and I just want to, because I think Owen would be very entertaining on these.
I feel like we should do the originals first or something. But I don't know if he'd have anything interesting to say about the originals besides, yeah, we love them.
Yeah, but if I watch Return of the Jedi, I'm just going to get pissed off because they put that no in Darth Vader choosing.
Well, I do have the original VHSs.
Oh, your TV's broke, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm getting a new one. I'll plug the VHS in my ass and...
You just spit out your tongue like, it starts playing.
I just move my arm like.
So what would you guys prefer? I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Think about I do want to do a trilogy of Star Wars just because I think it's an easy thing to talk about and shit on if we don't like it.
But I really don't want to watch the new Star Wars.
I know, man, but you'd be so fucking entertaining on this shit.
They're so fucking stupid.
Oh, you're the funniest part. By my own girlfriend's admission, you're the funniest part of this podcast, and I think you would be great
I think
ripping. I want to get Alex on the Last Jedi episode and have Owen just like, "No, listen here, this movie fucking sucks." I'll just stand up and be like,
my favorite part of the podcast is when Cody sings. That is truthful, 100%.
My favorite part is you play guitar sarcastically.
I can go the distance.
I think I told Cody that too. Cody, you remember watching The Other Guys?
Yeah.
And you remember when he goes, when he starts dancing at the ballerina thing, and you're like, "Oh, that's really good." And then his partner goes, "Where'd you learn how to dance like that?" He goes, "I learned how to do it to make fun of this fairy down the street." And he goes, "You learned how to dance like that sarcastically?" He goes, "Yeah, I guess." And I'm like, that's like Owen when he plays the guitar. He's good playing it if he's just trying to play it, but when he starts doing shit sarcastically, he turns into fucking Eddie Vedder. Eddie Vedder. That's the wrong fucking. It's not even guitarist, is it?
That's the lead singer of
Pearl Jam.
Yeah, Pearl Jam.
Yeah, he is a guitarist. Never mind. So it did fit. I'm like, he turns into Fred Durst when he does it. Look, he's a guitarist, right?
He turns into Eminem. Tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet. One more time. I said, "I'm all right, mama. I didn't mean to hurt you."
Owen's incredible. That's why I wanted him on the podcast. Because I'm just like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna bring it back down because I suck."
No, you're a sleeper hit, bro.
Nah,
you're the sleeper hit. Except
I
now
like
when you fucking called my movie shit, motherfucker.
Okay, how many of your movies? How many have I called shit?
Apocalypse Now.
No, I recommended that.
Dawn of the Dead.
I was positive.
This one.
So yeah, this one.
What other movies?
Hey, Cody.
Every movie I've done.
Real quick question, Cody.
Yeah.
You know I sandbagged the shit out of your Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right?
Yeah.
I like how when we show Cody's movies, he's like, "Ah, well." But like when you guys sit on the movie, I'm like, I'm personally hurt. Okay.
Now let me ask you something, Cody. Comparing this to that, which one did I actually shit on?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Exactly. Come on now. I was legit asking questions.
I'm personally hurt, bro.
I think this is. I'm like, if you want to watch it, I didn't come away from this movie like, man, this is some grand fucking thing. Like it lived up to the hype of like, oh, this thing's like subversive.
Next,
and all
I'm
this
gonna
shit.
pick fucking The Human Centipede,
and
I'll force you motherfuckers to watch that.
I've actually kind of always wanted to see that. So
yeah, see now we have two.
I'll be sick that episode. I'll just say that.
Got COVID again. That didn't stop us before, bro.
Yeah. I think about that all the time. I remember my boss would go, yeah, well, you guys got sick because you were making out together. And I'm like, it's Owen's fault. And Owen goes, I didn't get it from you.
No, he said, what Lance said was like, yeah, when I got COVID from you and that fucker and I was like, but I didn't even have it.
I didn't say that to Owen. It was great.
I was
that
like,
fucker. And
I didn't even have it.
And then he goes, I think you're the one closer to Cody, so I got it from you.
Yeah, I was like, you were the closest to Cody, so I guess technically, if
And
anything,
I go, I'm sitting across the table. You were right next to him.
yeah, Cody, you did do a big spit. You went right into my mouth.
God,
That was probably how I got it.
Probably.
it was the baby
It
one
was when Lance was
water. He's like,
taking a
okay. All right, Cody, what's going to be our next movie, sir?
So the next one is going to be The Greatest Showman.
Shit. Oh, sorry.
Actually, what's that about? I have no idea what that is.
It's a musical biopic about P.T. Barnum,
Oh.
like his circus and all that kind of stuff.
And the guy who invented the PT Cruiser.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's what I'm all about.
It's
a car,
pretty good.
Grandma car.
But yeah, we'll obviously get into it on the next episode. But it I think it has a great soundtrack, and there's even like a reimagined soundtrack that was released where a bunch of like famous artists did songs from the film. So I don't know if y'all would like any of the artists on there, but it's worth looking into, I think, at least.
And hopefully on that episode, we'll have a guest host, friend of the show and podcast friend, Jacob Dukeshire, who is a co-host of the show I'll Take Three.
I thought you were going to say George Lucas.
George Lucas is going to be there talking about it, saying how he could have done it better.
Hell yeah.
And that Jar Jar was a good character.
I love that guy.
But yeah, hopefully Jacob will be on the episode because that's one of his favorite movies. I think he's even said that's probably his favorite movie. Of course, I mean, I don't know if that was his genre, but I remember him saying how much he liked it. So hopefully Jacob will be on it. And they also have a show called I'll Take Three, so look that up. It's a very good show. And it's probably in my top 4 of podcasts that I listen to. The other 3 being wrestling related.
And ours.
I
don't even listen to ours. I can't do it.
I will let y'all know, just for future reference, that movie is on Disney Plus. So.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to rent it. Cool.
No.
So thank you for listening to our episode on Blue Velvet. If you like our podcast, be sure to share it with your friends.
Also eat a red velvet cake.
Yeah, and eat a red velvet cake because those are fucking delicious. Let me tell you. And be sure to look out for our next, which is going to be on The Greatest Showman.
Hey, well, what's our Twitter handle though?
And our Twitters are
at Filmoscopy
Pod. And you guys will have to say yours because I do not remember you guys' things. I mean, I'm following all of you guys, but I'm
not prepared to share that.
Okay, he's not prepared to share that. Okay, never mind.
No, Lance has his mouth open. Oh, enigmatic vein.
Okay, there we go.
Nobody else has that name, and it's not anything to be confused.
And you can just follow me at Top Hat Wishbone.
And mine's at Silent Hill 002.
All right, Cody.
Well, that's it. So see y'all.
See ya.
All right, bye.